Chapter 3 Season 3 is here, and I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about this season, everything added with the map, the loot pools, all the new mechanics, and let's just get into it. Starting with the map, we have a new point of interest called Reality Falls. In the middle of this place is the Reality Tree, and you can actually climb this tree either walking up it or using a zip line. And once you get to the top, there's a couple chests. You can also branch out. There's a couple bouncy mushrooms, and you can jump on them. And when you're at the top of the tree and you hit the leaves, you'll get glider redeploy, and you can go anywhere you'd like to go from there. The bouncy mushrooms are also all over this new biome, and the first person to hit them in each match will regen 15 health or shield. Also at the reality tree are things called reality seed pods, which you can harvest and find reality saplings. You can plant these in a match. Every time you throw one of these saplings at the floor, it'll grow a tree, and every tree comes with 3 slurp mushrooms, and these trees that you plant in a match, they will show up in another match too, in the same spot. Now there are also multiple reality saplings, but you can only have one tree, so throwing another reality sapling will cause the other tree to despawn, but it'll also spawn in 3 more slurp mushrooms, so you can get a bunch of slurp mushrooms just from these reality trees. You can also weed the saplings or the trees to upgrade the tree that you've created and upgrade its rarity basically, and you can collect fruits from the tree that drop loot. So starting off, you'll plant an uncommon tree and you'll get uncommon loot from it. Couple games after, wait a little bit, it'll upgrade to rare, and as you can see, every time you take the fruit from the tree, it gives you a bunch of rare weapons and items. Now Epic says that you can keep on doing this up until you get a bunch of mythic loot. We're not actually sure what that is. As of right now, it's going to take 10 hours for my rare tree to upgrade to epic, so it's going to take a while to get to mythic, and I'm just going to assume that the mythic loot that you are going to get is just going to be the guns that are currently in the loot pool, just mythic versions of them with a little bit more damage. Greasy Grove, although it's still on the map, kind of destroyed. There's a bunch of the fungi there and the bouncy mushrooms. The houses are still kind of there. The main taco building is just ripped in half. Camp Cuddle is completely gone, and we also have a few new returning landmarks. So we have a depot from Dusty Depot. This time it's called Displaced Depot. We also had this on the last map, where something happened with the 0 point and one of the depots came back, so nice little Easter egg there. We also have the head of the shark, not actually the island, just the head kind of put into a mountain. Nice decoration, it looks cool. And the chair from the first map with the 2 chests on it, they're all in the same area in that one part of the map on the new biome. The new grotto, aka Command Cavern, has turned into Rave Cave. There's no more henchmen or boss there. There's a bunch of decorations, and this is all to fit the theme of the season. Even some places that you go inside of it, you'll hear some music. And for anyone wondering, there is still technically a vault there, but it's just like the normal other vaults that have been around the map since season 1, where you're gonna need X amount of players to unlock the door, and it's going to have some basic loot in there. Outside of the mountains, slipstreams have returned. Now this slipstream doesn't go all the way around the map, but it's in that area where the cavern was, and it goes up to Logjam, so it goes pretty far and it's pretty good mobility. We also have ballers coming back with a roller coaster for them around Command Cavern. Ballers have changed. They now run on fuel, but you cannot refuel them. They just have a set amount of fuel, and once you use it all, you can't use it anymore. So that kind of sucks. But you can also just take the baller and put it in the roller coaster and just ride around. I don't think that takes any of the fuel out of it. The fortress is no longer a named point of interest, and the giant drill is just going underground. There's a couple decorations there now. The collider is gone. You can actually see the 0 point if you look down in Loot Lake where the collider used to be, and there's a bunch of decorations at Loot Lake. It was all shown off in the trailer. And Tilted is still destroyed. We thought it was either going to be replaced or rebuilt. It's still destroyed, but it actually will be rebuilt by creative players. People can submit buildings and they'll be put in Tilted Towers. There's also new boulders around the map. You can smack them a few times and then the giant boulder will just fall out and roll around. It's pretty similar to the falling trees we have, just like a rock version of it. There's also supposed to be some storm sickness in the game. I personally stayed in the storm for a few minutes. I used multiple floppers and I didn't notice a difference, but Epic says that it's supposed to be in the game. The way that it's supposed to work is the longer you're in the storm, the faster you're going to take damage. So I'm not 100% sure if that's still in the game, or maybe you just have to wait an extreme long amount of time in the storm for it to be enabled. Maybe it's just not enabled yet. I'm not sure on that. We have massive changes to boars and wolves. You can now ride them, and you don't even need an item to do it. Just find one of these guys on the map, jump on them, and you're riding them. Once you've hopped on an animal, they're basically tamed and they'll follow you around like a teammate. And while you're riding on them, you can actually shoot and interact with anything as long as it's not sprinting. There is a button to toggle sprinting, and while you're sprinting, you can't shoot or anything, but you'll go way faster, and the wildlife that you're on will deal a small amount of damage when you bash into like structures and things like that. The animals only have so much stamina. There is a bar that shows up on your screen, and once it runs out, they'll just sit down and rest. The stamina bar can be increased when the animal eats meat, and their health bar can be increased when the animal eats fish, or it can be healed any other way, like if you were to spray a med mist or put them near a slurp barrel, chug splash, stuff like that. The boars and the wolves, if they see any healing and they need heals, they'll just go out and eat it, or any fish, meat, stuff like that. If they need it, they will just run to it and eat it. And also, if you're riding one, you can avoid fall damage. The animal will tank fall damage for you. As for weapons in the game, we have 3 brand new weapons: the hammer AR, the 2-shot shotgun, and the DMR sniper. Now, these weapons honestly are not the best, but we'll go over them. All these weapons are available in all 5 variants. Yes, there even is a gray sniper in the game. The hammer AR has pretty low damage, like around 25, and not a big headshot multiplier. Small clip size, only 20 bullets. It is a little faster than the Ranger in terms of fire rate, but who's using the Ranger anyway? The Striker AUG is still in the game, the red dot burst, so I don't understand why anyone would use the other ARs. The 2-shot shotgun holds 8 shells, shoots 2 at a time. It's basically a burst shotgun. It has pretty low damage and a very slow fire rate. Obviously, if the burst fire quickly, 1 bullet after the other, but if you have this shotgun out, you try to shoot it multiple times, you'll probably end up dead. And the DMR sniper, 10 bullets, does around 50 damage and 80 headshot, pretty slow fire rate, not a great rifle at all. The Chug Cannon exotic is back. It can be found in llamas. The heavy sniper spawn rate is increased. This thing is all over the place, and I guess that's because the other sniper, the Hunter Bolt, was vaulted. The drum shotgun was vaulted, thank God, although not the combat SMG, so we're still in a pretty spam meta, but at least that gun's gone. The Anvil rocket launcher, thermal AR, MK7, Ranger shotgun, and LMG weapons have all been vaulted. As for items, the thermal fish, jetpack, airstrike, balloons, and C4 have been vaulted. The Rift to Go is still in the game. A lot of people are saying the Rift to Go is vaulted. No, it's still in the game. You can still find it. And as for vehicles, tanks are definitely gone. Helicopters, I'm not 100% sure because they removed a lot of the places where they used to spawn. I haven't seen any helicopters yet. I'm assuming they're vaulted. And for the most part, the loot pool plays out very similar to last season because the new weapons just aren't that great, and still we have a lot of the weapons from last season in the game. I'd say the meta is probably just going to be red dot burst with a striker pump and the combat SMG. That's probably what most people are going to be using this season. We obviously have a brand new battle pass for the brand new season with Darth Vader as the tier 100 skin. We also have the customizable skin called Snap. You can change his head, arms, torso, legs, and you can unlock all these parts by collecting tokens on the map. We also have Indiana Jones as our bonus skin. He's coming next month. And as for XP and leveling up this season, XP was nerfed pretty badly. The weekly challenges only give you 15,000 XP now. They used to give you more in the past seasons. But I will be making a video on the best ways to level up this season coming tomorrow, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. And that's pretty much everything that was added this season, but we do also have a few more things to talk about, things that will be added in the future. So Indiana Jones will be getting a grapple glove item, and in the trailer you can see it's basically just a Spider-Man mythic reskin. Also, we'll be getting Darth Vader as a boss on the island, and his lightsaber mythic. You can see in the trailer he does throw it, so it is different to the lightsabers that we've had in the past. We also have this weapon that kind of looks like the Recycler from the Primal seasons, but this time it shoots out blades that damage structures. So that should be coming out soon. It is in the gameplay trailer. It looks pretty cool. And those are the main things that I wanted to go over, everything you need to know for this season. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one later.